we're very happy to have Linda Smith is going to be our speaker today. And she offered this program back in, I believe, 2020, just before lockdown. And we didn't think it was real appropriate to talk about travel apps as we were sitting in our closed apartments. But now it seems fitting because some of us have started to travel again. So I'm really happy to turn the program over to Linda Smith, who travels a lot and uses apps. So it's all yours, Linda.
Okay, so if you all can see me, I know this looks really dorky. I have my phone hung around my neck. Oh, Wayne, can you turn off the cuckoo clock? I have my phone hung around my neck, and that is because this is my most important travel accessory, and I do not want to lose it. And I bought this thing, lariat, whatever you want to call it, after two things happened. My friend was in Italy traveling alone, and her phone was stolen during a cooking class she was taking.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought, oh my goodness, I couldn't survive overseas without my phone. So, and you'll find out why. And the other thing I want to show you is this is a power bank. I really recommend that you have a power bank for your phone, because you don't want to do what I did and be halfway up the Eiffel Tower at twilight with the city of lights sprawled below you and find out that your phone is dead and you can't take a single picture. And then, how am I going to find my flat without GPS? So that was a moment when I realized I need a power bank. So, and my brother gave me this one as a gift. I asked for it for Christmas. I really wanted a smaller one. They have them as small as lipstick, but this one will charge my phone 3 full times, which is a little bit more than what I think I need. Okay, why your phone is your most important travel accessory. And you can see that it is, I have the thing, the things I talked about already. So I'm just going to go to the next screen. Okay, so your camera. Oh, is there a way I can move this little picture thing so I can see my screen here? Let's see if I can remember. Okay, there we go. All right. So you always have a great camera, and that's the subject of a whole new presentation. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Whoops, that did not work. Okay, we'll use the buttons. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is, after COVID, that you can keep your COVID vaccination card in your wallet. And when we were in Europe, and it might happen in the US, I know right now we're on a COVID reprieve kind of, but it may come to that you need a digital form in order to enter a restaurant. And that was true in Paris. So you can keep this in your wallet, always handy. If you do not know that you have a wallet, you do. Every Apple phone comes with the Apple Wallet. This is what mine looks like when I open it. Okay, there's your wallet app. That's what it looks like. And this is what mine looks when you open it. And you can see right there is my vaccination card. When I click on that, I get this. Okay, and that is my what is it called? A QR code can be scanned. And in Paris, all the restaurants, all they had was scanners, and you had to have a QR code that they could scan so that you could get into their restaurant, because you had to prove that you were vaccinated. And it might come to that. I know in DC you had to prove your vaccination, but I think you could actually use your paper card. But in Paris, the paper card was not good enough. Now I can't find my little, there we go. All right, so how do you add your vaccination card to your wallet? You need to get a digital record of your vaccination card from your provider. And I have it in my chart because my provider is off campus. They use Epic. I gave them my card. They entered it into their system. I mean, my vaccination card, they entered it into their system and it became a digital thing. Every single medical provider in the United States has to have digital medical records. So if you give your provider your vaccination card, they should be able to put that on their system and then tell you how to access their system. If it's not Epic and they don't have my chart, you just have to find out how to access their system so that you can get to your electronic form of your vaccination card. Once you get it, you can see there's, oh, I should be using the pointer here. Let me put the laser pointer on. Okay, there's the laser pointer. So once you get it, you can see right here, there's a little button. You just push that button and it puts it in your wallet and also in your health app. If you do not have that button, all you have to do is use your camera on your phone to scan your QR code and it will put this in your wallet for you. And the only other thing is you can see that also on my chart, I have, it saves all my tests, my COVID tests that as also as a QR code. So, and now I'm going to go on to the next slide. We'll do it that way. Yes, good. Okay, so if you can't get a digital record from your provider, you can use your Notes app, which you also have, even if you've never used it, it comes with the phone, okay? So you can use the Notes app and you can take a picture to create a PDF of your vaccination record. And that will be stored in Notes. So you just need to label what it is and it'll be in your Notes card and you'll always have it on your phone if you need to show it to somebody. Okay, so your Apple Wallet is good for holding lots of things. So the other things that were in my Apple Wallet, and these are all expired. Well, no, they aren't all expired, but my boarding pass is here. This is for a train from Paris to Cannes, and this is from a Southwest from BWI to Orlando. You can save all your boarding passes in your wallet, and it's very, very handy. And they can, at the terminal, they can scan your QR code and you just get on the plane. It also will hold your loyalty cards. So it's your Apple Wallet is very, very handy. And of course you can put credit cards in it too. And that way you can use Apple Pay. Okay. All right.
You should emphasize that one. That's been very valuable on our trips.
Apple Pay?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll talk about it later. Okay. So I'm going to talk about day trips first. Okay. So there's all kinds of ways you could take day trips. Let's say you wanted to go to the Holocaust Museum. There's a number of ways that you could go. And one way you could go is to take the MARC train from the Halethorpe station. And since we are over 65, we get half price. And although you have to apply, it's a big rigmarole, but you can get half price. Okay. So this app right here, this Charm Pass, will allow you, and that's what it looks like when you open it. It will allow you to buy tickets for the MARC train, for Baltimore Link, and for the commuter bus. So that's that app right there, this one right here, okay? Once you get to DC, you're gonna need to get around. And so you're gonna want to use probably the Metro. So there's 2 apps here. Well, 3 apps for the Metro I have. So this one gives you a nice map, okay? And it also, you could do things like enter where you want to, where you are and where you want to get to, and it can tell you which lines you have to take, you know, which color line, or you can just look at the map and figure it out. It also has the bus routes in DC, the Metro bus. And so that's just a map. To actually go somewhere, you really need a Smart Trip card. I recommend that. And there is a Smart Trip card app. And once you have that, you can add, you can see your Smart Trip card and you can add passes. And I have not done it. So I haven't used my phone to scan this. I've only actually used the card. I'm not sure if you can do that or not. I think you might be able to. And last thing is this app here, Transit. When I brought it up in my apartment, this is what I got. It tells you about, you know, Baltimore Link. It tells you how to get around in any city. This app works in any city, but it works right here in Baltimore. It tells me what I have available in public transportation. So that's very handy. I have a couple others on here. I have Metro Hero, which is when the Metro is something's wrong, like a line's blocked or something, it will give you notices and it will tell you how to get around that. I've got Amtrak here, and you can use that to see where the Amtrak trains go and also to buy tickets. And I also have Uber and Lyft, which I'm going to talk about next, because let's say I don't want to take public transportation to the Holocaust Museum. I want to get there a different way. So I'll go to my next thing. So you could take Uber, you could take Lyft, or you could drive yourself. And if you have never used Uber, it is a fantastic service. I really, really like it. I showed you Uber and Lyft earlier, but what they look like, this is what you get when you open Uber. I opened it from my apartment last night. I said, I want to go, or no, a couple nights ago. I said, I want to go to the Holocaust Museum. And it told me, well, it's going to cost you $66.94 to go to the Holocaust Museum. But what's really nice is it does tell you exactly how much it's going to cost. It gives you a map. And then once you confirm the Uber, it tells you who your driver's going to be, what their car is, what their license plate is. You already know how much it's going to cost, when they're going to be there. You can watch them on the map as they approach your location. And in general, they get there in 10 minutes to where you are. It's incredible because Uber has a system that gets you the quickest person. And I have used Uber all over the world, and it has worked very well in every city I've been in, except for a few cities in England that they have not allowed Uber because they wanted to protect their taxi service. So Lyft works very well too, and it works in the US, but they both work very much the same. Plus they have safety features. Not only do you know who exactly is going to come and pick you up so you don't get in the wrong car, but once you're in the car, they have on your Uber app, they have a safety thing. If you feel in danger from your driver, you have just a button you can push and say I'm in danger. Plus you can share your ride with several friends and they know exactly where you are and where you are in the car. So those are the safety features they have. So that's enough about Uber, I think. So I will move on to the next topic. Oh, sorry, the other way. Okay, so let's say I said Uber, Lyft, or drive myself. I forgot. That's all on this slide. So if I drive myself, I need to know how to get there. So you already have Apple Maps, and it's an excellent navigation program. I really like it. And it's also great for walking. It will tell you how to get places walking. In this area and in places with high traffic, I really like Waze because it will tell you, it's got the best traffic update because the actual users update the app about where there's traffic backups. So I really like it to get around traffic. And then Google Maps, my husband insisted I have Google Maps because that's what he likes. And okay, and then this is ParkWiz. I have loved this app because it's like, if I drive to DC, I will not be able to find a place to park. Well, ParkWiz, this is what opens up. And for the Holocaust Museum, it didn't really help me too much. It works really well for other places, but for the Holocaust Museum, it's a little bit out of the way. But what it does, this is the Holocaust Museum, and it found parking places for me, okay? And I had put in what day I was going to be there and what times, when I was going to come and when I was going to, when I was going to come and when I was going to leave. And it tells me how much it will cost at each one of these parking garages, so I can choose from it. And then when I click on it, I can actually reserve my parking spot in advance so that it doesn't happen that while I'm driving there, or I can reserve it days ahead so that so that the garage doesn't fill up before I get there. So it's been really, really handy. I really like ParkWiz. I also have another one that is on the second page of this that I don't use as often because I don't like it as well. It's called Spot Hero. But since ParkWiz did not come up with any good garages for me near the Holocaust Museum, I would probably try Spot Hero to see if it could do better, if that's what I really wanted to do. Okay, and now I can go on to the next slide. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is if you want to take a longer, not a day trip, you want to take a road trip, okay? And I'm going to talk about each one of these apps in turn, except the ones I've already talked about, like ParkWiz and Waze and the mapping programs, okay? So iExit, if you're driving the interstates, iExit is a very handy app to have. And these apps are all free, by the way. It's a very handy app. It will tell you exactly what's just off the interstate exit. So you can look like you're driving I-95. It knows you're driving I-95, and it will tell you what's at the next exit coming up and future exits. And so you know what restaurants are there, you know if there's car repair shops, if there's gas stations. It's a very handy app to have. This app is toll calculator, and when you have a trip already running on another one of your GPS programs, it will calculate the tolls that you're going to have to pay for that trip. It works pretty well. So, and you have to input to it all the like if you have Easy Pass, all those kinds of things, so that it can figure that into your tolls. But it's very handy app. This I found out from another presentation that another resident made. This is just find my car in the parking lot. And here is my husband's favorite app, Road Trippers. My husband loves this. He actually uses the online version on his PC to map out our trip. And I don't even believe he has the app installed on his phone. He depends on, oh, you have it on your phone? Okay. So anyway, I have the app on my phone and I can access all of his trips. He loves this app so much that we are actually getting the premium version where we have to pay a subscription, but you can get a free version. But we have the premium version, so it allows us to do a longer trip with it. Okay, and I'm going to go to the next slide. So this is what Road Trippers app will give you. Okay, so this is one of our stored trips that my husband has set up in advance, and he prefers, it's easier to do on the PC. I do agree with him that to set up the trip. Okay, and if you click, so it gives you the trip in a list form, and if this is a screenshot, so I can't scroll, but if I could scroll, it would show you the whole trip. You know, you can just pace yourself down, see the entire trip. And if you click on any individual thing on the trip, and like if I clicked on the Museum of the Marine Corps, that would come up. I decided to click further down, and I clicked on the Alamo because we're going to visit the Alamo on our next trip. And so it tells you everything about it, has this art take, and if you click further down, it gives you the whole long thing. It tells you when it's open. It gives you the address, obviously, because it's already got it mapped. And if you continue, so you can see it also provides reviews. So it's got 46 user reviews. It's got 22 photos. And then here it's got different things that are nearby. So it's very helpful while you're driving, and you can be a little bit, what's the word I want? Serendipitous about your trip. You know, you can say, oh, I see something else nearby that I want to go visit, and then just do that. And that our road trips are pretty serendipitous. We only book a couple hotels and stuff in advance, and otherwise I am booking them as we go. I forgot to tell you, this is the opening screen you see, and these are different trips that we have stored. So this was this trip that's our next trip. And here is the map version of our trip.
Oh,
You can see it doesn't get us back.
yeah.
I asked my husband, why did you do he has a second trip to finish this out. I said, why did you do it that way? And he said, well, because I wanted to go, he wants to take Route 40 all the way back, the National Highway, and not go on the interstate. And he actually had to do that as a separate trip, but that'll be fine. He wants to do that. So we're going to do that. He just wants to see what the national highways like. We did Route 66, and so we're doing nostalgia roads on our trips now. And I think that's all I need to say about that. Okay, now I'm going to talk about travel, other travel apps, and some of these will be if you want to take a foreign trip. Okay, so this one is funny because this was my favorite app. And it's very limited use. It's when you're coming back to, it was when I was coming back to the US, flying back from another country. You can store your passport and your picture and all your, your customs forms in this app. You could take a special line. Okay, once you get off the plane, there was a special line for mobile passport, super fast line. You get right through. It takes you, like, you get off the plane and it takes you 5 minutes to get through border security and customs. It was great. Okay, the last time I used it, they were a little bit, it was always a free app. Last time I used it, they said, okay, well, if you want us to store your passport for you, you're going to have to pay us a subscription. And I'm like, okay, I'll just enter it each time because I'm not flying that much that it's worth paying a monthly fee to store my passport. Well, when I opened it up to tell you about it this time, they just decided to do away with this on March 1st. And they're introducing a brand new app called Air. And that's this app here. I installed it, but I really don't know anything about it yet. So I can't recommend it or not recommend it. It's supposed to work the same. You store your passport in it. And also you can store your driver's license in it, an electronic version, so that you can get on planes without pulling out your driver's license. All you need is your phone. Everything's on your phone. Okay. So hopefully it'll work the same. I hope it does. And I hope I don't have to pay a subscription. Anyway, it does have a free and a subscription version. So we'll see how that works out. Okay, new favorite app, My TSA. Anytime you're going to be taking a plane, this is a great app. And I'm going to now, I'll tell you what, I'll just briefly tell you what each app is, and then I'm going to go on in this box here, okay? And then I'm going to go on and explain each one. So this is TripAdvisor. These are my translation apps, Google Translate, and the brand new, well, not brand new, but fairly new, Apple Translation map. I like hotels.com for booking hotels. Other people use other ones. I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with Yelp at finding restaurants, especially little, local, wonderful places in the cities that we go. Oh, and this is a really nice app, and the light version is fine, the free version, and I'll show you that in a little bit, okay? So I'm going to go on to the next one. So this is My TSA, and this is why I love it. So when I open it, it shows my dashboard, and already, because I've used it before, it has my favorite airports, which are BWI and Dulles. And without me having to do anything else, this is of course a screenshot, so I can't guarantee this for right now. It tells me what the wait time is at TSA at both of these airports, and they're 0 to 15 minutes, which is wonderful. That's because I did it late at night. Anyway, but they have other features. So here you can see, this is the dashboard. This is where you can designate which airports you are. This is, if you have any questions, ask TSA. This is the screen that comes up, and you can contact them, all different kinds of ways to contact TSA, through Messenger, through Twitter. They're open, so it's very handy. They make it very user-friendly. I really appreciate how many government services actually are user-friendly. And this last one, I love this too. Can I bring? Okay. So you want to know what TSA will let you bring. Now, customs might not agree with them. Okay. Because I found it very interesting that I can take pizza in both my carry-on bag and my check bag. And I'm not sure customs would approve of that, or anybody else, but anyway, you can just go through. It's got so many items listed, and it'll tell you exactly whether you can bring them or not, if it's safe, if it'll get through security. Okay. And the next one, I showed you TripAdvisor. I am becoming disillusioned with TripAdvisor, but it's still a good app, okay? And the only reason I'm starting to dislike it is because it is trying to sell me things, and it's tracking me through other apps and trying to offer me hotels and stuff. It used to not sell anything, and it was great when it was that. It was just a whole collection, a community. They called a community of TripAdvisor people who did reviews on all these different places and told you what to go see, what their favorite places were. And it was wonderful that way. And it still has all of that on it. But now they're trying to sell you hotel rooms and other restaurants and other things. And so it's becoming a little too commercial for me, but I still use it a lot because I love the reviews in it. It has so many reviews. So the very first stop I'm making on our trip is Colonial Heights, Virginia, which is not that much to do in Colonial Heights, Virginia, but TripAdvisor can tell me that the top place there to visit is the Keystone Tractor Works. And I'm like, okay. So, I think it means tractors like that pull semis. Because that's what it looks like in this. But anyway, so no matter where you go, it'll tell you the top places to go. And then whether it's open or not, and then when you click on it, it'll give you a whole bunch of information that you need if you're going to visit it. So it really is a good app that way. I just wish they hadn't tried to sell things to me. So anyway, okay. I really like hotels.com, but there's lots of other booking apps. I like it because it gives me good prices on the hotels. It rewards me every 10th night or 11th night. I get free. This is my rewards page. It stores all my upcoming bookings for me. I can also add these to my wallet from this app, but I don't because I don't want my wallet to get too full. So like I said, we're pretty loosey-goosey and we just book as we go, but we were afraid that when we are around the Grand Tetons, we might not be able to find a place. And so I booked it in advance. So that's why I have this booking in here. And this booking is way ahead in Florida because I'm going to take a cruise and I want to get there ahead of time. So I have these bookings in my app. And then when I click on them, it tells me everything I need to know, whether I paid for it already or whether I pay for it there, and anything else I might want to know, it tells me about. So when you need to find a place to book, you click on the Discover button and you put in what night and where you want to stay near. And so I put in Colonial Heights, Virginia, because that's the next place that we're planning to stay around. That's how far we think we're going to get on our trip. And so you can get a list version or a map version, but you can see the map version tells you what you're going to be paying a night and how close they are to that truck museum, because you never know, you might want to go visit it, and so you want to be close. So I'll go on to Yelp. If you've never used Yelp, I love it. I just opened it and looked for restaurants from my apartment, but you can also, and then I click the open button at the time. This is, of course, a screenshot. But when I am driving, I can look for, okay, what city do you think we'll be at in an hour or in 2 hours? So I'll look for a restaurant 2 hours from me. So and it gives you this nice map version, so you can see how close it is to the interstate or how close it is to where you are right now. It works well if you're walking. We were walking around, what city was that, Wayne, where the palace is? In Windsor, England, and looking for a place to eat. And so I just opened the app and said, okay, what's the closest restaurant, because we're starving. Anyway, so Yelp is trying to expand. They really excel at restaurants, but now they're trying to do auto repair and plumbing and home cleaning and all that kind of stuff now. But anyway, this is the opening screen that I got when I was making this presentation. And obviously it's like got specials for St. Patrick's Day, which is today. Okay.
I thought you went out.
Pardon?
I'm on.
So I'm on, so this is the next app that I had in that. It's called Units Plus Lite. That Lite's the free version. It works fantastic. I don't know why I'd go pro. So what this will do is it will convert almost anything. You can see all the different categories it has. So if they tell you you're in England and it says it's 20 degrees Celsius and you say that sounds really cold, it's actually, you convert it and you find out it's about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's really nice day. So it converts speed. You can do miles per hour to kilometers per hour. It will convert volume and length, and the most useful thing, because you could do those in your head too. So you could meters to miles and all those kinds of stuff you could do in your head, but the most valuable thing is the currency. And when you do it, it's up to date. Okay. So when I was in India and I wanted to buy something and it was 70,000 Indian rupees, I was like, wow, how much would that cost me in US dollars? And right here, it's $920. Okay. So anyway, I found it really useful for currency. It works for it. So the way it works is these two halves slide up and down. You roll them up and down independently. Okay. So then you match up what you want to convert. Okay. So this is, I wanted to convert rupees, but I just slide. If I wanted to do euros, I'd slide this back to the E for euro, and I'd keep this at dollar. Okay. But you can convert anything to anything just about, and it's very, very useful. Works great. Okay. So I'm going to go to the next screen. Oh, the translate apps. The translate apps are great. I have not had a chance to actually use Apple Translate. This is the Apple Translate app. I have not had a chance to actually use it, but I've played with it. Okay. So you're all laughing at what I asked. Okay. So I've played with this a lot. So what you do is great. You click this microphone and you just talk into the, you'll see a little squiggle, and you talk and you say, so I said, where is the restroom? Okay. And it translated into Spanish for me. ¿Dónde está el baño? But if I didn't know how to pronounce that, I can just click on this and it will actually speak the Spanish. Okay. So I can just, have my phone ask the person beside me, where's the bathroom? Okay. And these are all the languages that it'll work in. So you can translate any language to any language. You just, specify. So if I wanted to, so anyway, I'm only going to use English here. So, but I can translate, and it works both ways. So you don't have to keep switching them. You don't have to keep, I don't have to say, okay, I want to go Spanish to English, and now I want to go English to Spanish. You just put the two up that you want, and it'll switch back and forth depending on, what you give it, what you speak in. If I spoke Spanish in, it would translate it to English. Okay. I'm going to go to Google Translate now. Google Translate works completely differently. And the nice thing is that they both complement each other. So I have used Google Translate so many places. You're in France, you open the menu and you say, I have no idea what any of this means. And so, I was looking, as I was putting together this slideshow, I'm like, Wayne, where do we have something that's written in another language so I can show how Google Translate works? But anyway, so I found this book it's a Christmas book that was given to us that's in Norwegian. Okay. So this is the page in Norwegian. That's what the page looks like. I take my phone. Okay. This is my phone. I open the Google Translate and I click on the camera icon in the Google Translate and hold it in front of the page. And this is what I see. It translates it completely into English instantly, almost instantly. So you could just hold your camera over your menu, click the little camera. Now you do have to tell it what languages you're using, okay? So you have to tell it, this is in Norwegian or French or German or whatever it's in, and I want English. And then, so you have to tell it that ahead of time, and then you click over it and it gives you the English, which is absolutely fantastic. I can't tell you how nice it is to use in restaurants and in the food store. We're in the food store and we say, oh, we have a dishwasher in our rental unit. We need dishwasher detergent. You go in the store and you see boxes and you go, is this dishwasher detergent or is it something else? I can't even tell. So with my little Google Translate, I can read the whatever language it is and determine if I'm buying the right thing or if I'm buying laundry detergent instead or something else. Okay. Okay, so I told you all these. So we covered all of these. And now I just wanted to mention a couple other things. So there's a lot of destination specific apps, okay? We're going to go visit national parks. And so I installed the National Park Service app. These destination specific apps, what I do is I install them. And then when I'm done with them, I usually delete them. Just for this demonstration, I installed this one, which is for the Smithsonian Natural History Museum in DC. So every one of the Smithsonian has an app. Almost every major museum in the world has its own app. And I really recommend installing them. Everyone I've seen so far is free. And it very often has like audio tours in your own language on this app, okay? Plus it'll give you maps and all kinds of different information. Williamsburg has an app. There's so many different of these destination specific apps. I think Disney World has like 3 or 4 apps for different aspects of it. It's so I definitely recommend doing that. So these are just extras. I had great hopes for this app. It's supposed to tell you where the closest bathroom is, okay? What I have found is it will tell you where a bathroom is, but if you're on foot, it might not be the closest bathroom. It's the closest bathroom that it knows about, but there may be bathrooms closer. So I have found it's of limited use because a lot of times I can find a closer bathroom than the one that it tells me that's 2 miles away. You know, I'm not going to walk there. Okay. Then I installed this because it was highly recommended on travel blogs, but I have never used it. I just wanted to tell you about it. You're supposed to be able to keep all your travel documents in one place, but Apple Wallet will do that for you. So I'm not sure how useful it is, but I wanted to tell you about it. Okay. The other thing I wanted to tell you about is airline. If you're going to fly, I really recommend that you install the airline app of the airline that you're flying on, and you can remove it afterwards if you want. You can always and then reinstall it the next time you're going to fly, but you can check in on that app, and if there's a problem with your flight, they can tell you on that app so you don't go to the airport, or you can use the app to rebook yourself. So I really recommend that you do that. The other thing I have Expedia and Kayak and on here. If you've booked your flight through Expedia, you should install the Expedia app. Or if you booked your hotel through Expedia, you should install this app because if you have a problem, you're going to want to solve it through this app. So definitely recommend that. I haven't used Kayak a lot, but I installed it anyway. And this is called Lounge. What did I tell you it was called, Wayne? Lounge something. Lounge Buddy. This is called Lounge Buddy. this is an app that will tell you if you can enter the airline, you know, the airlines have lounges for their frequent flyers, okay? But sometimes those lounges will allow non-frequent flyers in, and this app will tell you how, under what conditions you can get into different lounges and different airports. So even if you're not a frequent flyer. These are other apps, whatever city, you know, like I was showing you the local travel, and I had apps for the metro and for the MARC train and all that kind of stuff. So if you're traveling to another city, you probably won't, and you're going to plan to use the train. This train line is good for all over England. You can book a train and it'll tell you about the trains and everything in any place in England. This is the Paris kind of light rail. This is the Paris Metro. This is the German trains. This is the, you know, German national trains that take you anywhere. This is the French trains. And this was a little bus service, but you could actually you can pay for the bus and everything on the app. And it tells you when the next bus is coming. The European apps are they're a lot better than what we have in the United States so far, but I'm assuming that the US is moving that way. In fact, Hogan was talking about having the Connect link all online and know when the next bus is coming and all that kind of stuff. That's helpful. Okay, so so you might say, oh, well, my phone won't work outside the USA. And that was true for a long time. And I used to not even take my phone with me, and now I can't live without it, okay? So, so with most of the carriers using LTE, I think there's no longer the case that we're incompatible. I am not an electrical engineer or a signals expert or anything like that, but I think that's less true that our systems are incompatible anymore. But what you should do is you should check with your carrier, okay? And I have T-Mobile, and my T-Mobile, I can, when I'm in a different country, it's really nice. It comes up, blink, welcome to Switzerland. You have free data. So I have free data. You have free texting, and it costs you 25 cents a call. So I'm not going to use the phone. I'm going to use the Wi-Fi, the data, and the texting. But, you know, so not every carrier does that. I know my husband's didn't with Verizon, but you could temporarily upgrade maybe for you know, that month to a system that would allow you to use your phone a little bit in other countries. So you could check with your carrier and find out. If your phone will not work, okay, with their phone system, or it'll cost you a fortune, there is free Wi-Fi almost everywhere, okay? So, or, well, not almost everywhere, but there's a lot of free Wi-Fi. So it's in hotels and restaurants and airports and planes and museums. And there's some whole cities that the whole city has free Wi-Fi. So now when you're using free Wi-Fi, don't transmit any sensitive information, okay? So don't go buying your airline tickets over free Wi-Fi. That is not a good idea. But you can use it to communicate. So in other countries, they really like this app here. It's called WhatsApp. It is a free app, and it allows you to talk over Wi-Fi. And every time I've been in a different country, even the Uber drivers use WhatsApp to contact you, okay? So it's a very good, if you're going overseas, I really recommend this. It's very, very popular. You can, you know what I didn't put on here, but you can FaceTime with other Apple users. You can use Facebook Messenger. That's all over Wi-Fi. All these Skype and Zoom and Microsoft Teams are all, oh, Marco Polo. I still can't figure out how to use that, but anyway, all those things are available over Wi-Fi. The other thing that's interesting is like you have an app on your phone called, or it's not really an app. It just kind of comes up, but it's called AirDrop, okay? So AirDrop works even if you don't have Wi-Fi. I'm not quite sure how it works. You just have to be near somebody with an Apple phone and you can send them a photograph over AirDrop. It's very, very handy. The way I got all these screenshots on this is I AirDrop from my phone to my laptop. So AirDrop's very, very handy. Let's say you have a stranger who offers to take your picture at the Eiffel Tower or something. If they've got an Apple phone, you can say, well, just use your phone and AirDrop it to me. That way you don't have to hand over your phone to a stranger to take your picture. So I just kind of really recommend that. I was doing that in India. Say, oh, you've got an Apple phone, use your phone and AirDrop it to me. So that works really, really well. Let me see if I have anything. Yeah, I think this was my very last slide. So are there any questions?
That was excellent. I picked up some good ideas for some additional apps that I haven't used for a while or I haven't heard of before.
It was a wonderful presentation, Linda. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dawn.